my favorite summer desserts today on Let's Cook. Hi, welcome to Let's Cook, where we are doing my favorite summer desserts. The first one happens to be dealing with lime juice or key lime juice. We're making a key lime pie. Now, to make the key lime pie, the first thing we have to do is make the crust. In this bowl right here, I have the ingredients that we're going to use to make the crust. It's a simple graham cracker crust. I have 8 ounces here, or 2 cups of graham crumbs, 2 ounces of sugar, a pinch of cinnamon, and 1/4 pound of butter. So we'll put our cinnamon in there. We'll put our sugar in there. We mix this together to make sure all our dry ingredients are together. Now we add the melted butter. So just put the butter in there. Just mix this all together. See how easy this mixes together? Now you're just going to mix this together till it kind of starts to cake up. And I usually actually use my hand to do this. So I'll take my hand. This way I can feel it, making sure that it's nice and mixed. And once I go like this and it stays together like this, that's all I really need. So I use my hand here just like a mixer now. To make the crust, I have my pan right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour, about 4/5 of the crumbs into the dish here. Then I'm just going to spread this out evenly with my hand, turning the dish as I go. Now, I like these springform pans because it's very easy to get the pie out when I'm done. Now, you'll notice here, what I'm doing now is I'm starting to force the dough or the crust to the edges here, and I'm using my thumb here to prevent it from going over. So, and I'm pressing on the bottom too because I really need this to cake together. Once I have it where it's about this point right here, I'll use my finger differently, and I'm going to come here and I'm just going to push in, supporting this with my thumb, turning this as I go, making sure it's the same thickness. The crust itself is going to come up. Notice on the edge right here, it's coming up above the shell just a little bit. We need to do that because when I cook this, it's going to shrink. Now we have to do what we call blind bake this, which means we need to take the shell and we need to bake it in a 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes, based on how fast your oven is. Once you've baked it in the oven and it's all done, it's going to come like this, and it's going to be nice and firm this way. It's also going to darken in color. Now we're ready to make our filling. Now to make our filling, we're simply going to take sweetened condensed milk. This is 2 cans right here. Sweetened condensed milk. Then we're going to take 4 egg yolks. Those go right in. We mix this together. Make sure that you mix these together first, making sure those egg yolks get incorporated there. Now, if you really like to enrich this, there's enough butter in this, but you could also put in maybe about a cup of vanilla ice cream melted. That's very nice too. So we have this here. Then this is going to coagulate it. This is my lime juice right here. I'm just going to add this lime juice. Then I'm going to quickly, I'll move this out of the way here, mix this together. And what will end up happening is it's going to get thick as the lime juice mixes with the condensed milk and the egg yolks. So I'll mix this together well, make sure it's really well mixed together. You can see it's already starting to coagulate. Now to further firm this, what we need to do is we need to refrigerate the pie. So my filling is ready. The only other thing I like to do is in the bottom of the crust here, I like to take a little seedless strawberry jam. And with the seedless strawberry jam, what I do is I just spread this around in the bottom of the shell. This seals it and also gives you a different flavor when you eat this. The strawberry goes real well with the lime pie filling or the key lime pie filling. So once I have this in, nice thin layer like this, we then take our filling right here, put this in. Now, when you put this in the refrigerator to firm up, need to make sure that you cover it with plastic wrap because it will form a skin. If you wanted to, you could bake this, but you really don't have to because the acid itself has really cooked the egg yolks, and it's not going to be dangerous. We'll just go like this, making sure it's nice and smooth. Cover it, put it in the refrigerator. I already have one done right here, and I'll show you what this looks like. Well, actually, we're going to cut into this right now. But you see, this way it won't get a skin. Let me just move this out of the way here. Beautiful. Doesn't that look good? It looks so good. Oh. Now, let's go ahead and cut into this. I haven't cut into this. I don't know what it looks like on the inside. But you can see, oh, fantastic. Take another slice right here. Beautiful. Let's lift this up here. See, doesn't that look great? Look at the inside. Oh, and you see how the strawberry has penetrated the crust? Set that up on a plate here. Then to garnish this, whatever garnish you like to use, what I'll do is I'll take one of my opening props here. Nice thin slice here of my lime. Make a little twist like that, keeping this very simple, but we need something else to go with this too. I have a little bit of cream right here that I have in the refrigerator, and I'm just going to get a whip right here. We're going to quickly whip this cream, put a little vanilla in it, and finish that on the key lime pie. It's definitely summer desserts. Paul's favorites today on Let's Cook. Let me whip this cream. We'll take a little break. And then when we come back, some delicious, my favorite. I've been making this for 20 years, cappuccino ice cream pie. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook. Now, if you're going to make an ice cream pie, you would need to make sure that you're using really good ice cream. So I'm using one of my favorite ice creams. And right now I'm putting in my bowl right here some vanilla and some coffee flavored ice cream. And what we're going to do is we're going to beat this with a paddle and remove the air to make my ice cream pie. So I'm going to get this started right now. All we're going to do with this right now is just beat this with our paddle, let it get a little soft, lock it in place. I'm going to start it on a relatively low speed and let it just start to beat the ice cream, remove the air that they put into it. Now, the next thing that I have to do, a little bit of ice cream here, is I have to make my bottom crust for this. In this pan right here, I have some regular coconut right here with some almonds. And what I did is I toasted them so that they're this color right here. So we just put them in the oven and we toasted them. Going to take that now and using a springform pan right here, just going to take a bunch of this so that I have you need a good amount because again, remember you're putting a liquid in here. So I'm going to put in probably a good 1/4 of an inch of the almonds with the toasted coconut in the bottom of the pan there. Let me get this out of the way. Now, let's look at our ice cream over here. It's starting to get a little soft. We're removing the air. To this, I'm going to add a little bit I took instant espresso, dissolved it in water, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that to the mix here. That's to increase the coffee flavor. Just a little bit more in there. Just increasing that coffee flavor. Let me turn this up now. Need to turn this up a little bit more. Okay, good. Now, what you want with the ice cream is you want the ice cream to still be solid, but be pliable enough to work with it. So, let's see here. I just need to stop this for 1 second. Bring this up. Okay, you see how it's frozen? It's still nice and solid, but it's still where I can work with it a little bit. And now the other thing that you have to do with this, once you're doing this, you have to taste it. You're working with ice cream. Got to taste it. Has a nice coffee flavor. I would like just a little bit more coffee flavor in there. So I'm going to put this back on and just add a little bit more coffee to this. Then we're going to pick up our speed here a little bit. Let that really get worked in there. Okay, now, the whole trick to this is to work with this quickly so that it can't melt. So this is just about ready now, I think. Good. Bring this up now. And the technique of making this is something that's really fun too. So we'll just clean off our paddle here. You can see that this kind of reminds me of when I was a kid and I used to take the ice cream and stir it till it was just this consistency. Exactly what I like to do. Now, I'm going to come over here. If I can get my bowl off, I got my bowl off here. Now this, first thing I'm going to do in the pan as I put this in is I'm just going to put some ice cream right there in the middle. And then I'm going to just work my way around this way, just scraping. You can even just scrape it right against the side of the dish here, a little bit at a time. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take this, pick this up, make sure it's together well. You're going to bang this a little bit, dropping this down, getting rid of any air that might be in there. Good. I have a little bit too much ice cream. I'm going to take a little bit out. I only need it to come out halfway. Spread this around. Now, in the middle here, right in the middle here, I'm going to put it a little bit down. Just make a little bit of a well in the middle there. Then, little chocolate sprinkles. Don't they look good? I can't work with these little sprinkles and say, oh, I'm putting a little chocolate sprinkles. Little chocolate sprinkles. Good. Next, chocolate sauce. Now, when you put in the chocolate sauce, don't put it all the way to the edge. Just work it in this way. Great. Now, the technique for the top is the same as for the bottom, which means I'm going to work it this way, making sure as I put this in that I cover all of the spaces here so my chocolate doesn't leak out. Get this all the way in, bring this over. Good. Then we just come here, spread this around this way. Looks good, doesn't it? Again, just like with the key lime pie, we have to take this, make sure we remove any air holes. Drop it down. Need to get rid of all of that air. Good. We wrap this in plastic. Put this in the freezer. Now, I already have one in the refrigerator to show you what it looks like. So this has been in the refrigerator. I took it out about right before we started this segment just to soften it. We'll have to take the plastic wrap off of this. Then using a very sharp small knife, we'll just go right around the edge here. You don't have to use a warm cloth. We'll just go right around the edge here just to get it started to come loose. Don't try and go all the way down first. Just a little bit here. Going to take this down. Pop this a little bit. Good. See, very sturdy, isn't it? Oh, doesn't this look great? Now, let's cut into this and see what this looks like. Very simple dessert. And if you take this to anybody's house, I guarantee you, you will be a hit. I like to cut a nice big piece of this. Let me just get my plate here because we have more going on to this now. Now what we're going to do with this, serve this standing up like that. Oh, butterscotch sauce. Little butterscotch sauce just over top of it like that. Then, last but not least, I have a little cocoa powder here, a little instant coffee that I'm going to mix together with a little sugar, and we just sprinkle that on top. Here's my sugar right here. Just take a little bit of this because otherwise it's just a little too bitter. Kind of mix these together. And then we just sprinkle just ever so little just around it like that. Oh, this is so rich. It does not need whipped cream at all. But if you wanted to put a little bit of whipped cream on it, go for it. We're going to take a little break now. And then when we come back, I'm making a green lemon tea souffle, frozen that is. It's summer desserts today on Let's Cook. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook. We are talking lemongrass. Beautiful lemongrass here, but in this recipe, I actually prefer that you use dried because I'm using dried lemongrass with green tea. And right here, I made a tea between the lemongrass and the tea, the green tea. Now, what I'm going to do with this, I allowed it to steep, is I strain this off right here. And now with this tea, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a simple syrup. I'm going to make a simple syrup by simply adding sugar to this and dissolving that sugar. Then I'm going to cook this down till it's almost at this point here. Now this, I just shut this off. This is at about 265 degrees, which means that it's at a soft crack. That means that if I were to take a spoon of this liquid and drop it in cold water, it would form a small ball and it would be malleable. So you can see this. You see how it coats the spoon here? Beautiful. Now, I'm going to use this sugar mixture to make a meringue. In my mixer right here, I'm going to take my egg whites, which should be at room temperature. Make sure your mixer is very clean. I'm going to take my egg whites now and start to whip them. As they're whipping and they get a little frothy, and I'll turn this so maybe we can get a shot on this, I reserved a little bit of the sugar here, and I'm going to drizzle that sugar in here to stabilize these egg whites. And I need them to be forming soft peaks before I can add my simple syrup over here. So we're just going to take this, put this on a high heat here. Now what's going to end up happening is this liquid right here is going to actually stabilize my egg whites and make a wonderful meringue. In addition to that, I have a little bit of whipped cream here, which I'm actually need to whip and get just a little firmer. So let me just take this. I'm going to whip this while that's whipping. I'm just going to take this. I need this to make sure that this forms nice, soft peaks. You see here? Okay, now I have nice firm peaks on this. Not too medium peaks I have, which is exactly the way I want it to be. So that's good to go. Coming over here, my egg whites are starting to take on air. I'm going to bring this up to 145 degrees. Just slowly drizzling this in. This is my flavoring agent that I'm going to use to make my souffle. So we're just going to gradually drizzle this in. Notice how it's taking on the color, getting a beautiful green tea, lemongrass color to it. Oh, fantastic. See how nice and shiny they're getting too? You could use this to make cookies as well, or, oh, absolutely wonderful flavoring. And it's very stable because of the heat. The heat actually stabilizes the egg whites. So, almost all of that is in. Now, the other thing, it's important when you're beating egg whites, not to stop it and look at it. Watch it as it's going because we want it to be a little shiny. Okay, that's all in. Now, let me show you how we're going to make these because you're going to love it. Actually, I have some done. While this is whipping up, I'm going to get them out of the freezer. So, okay, I have these right here. And no. Oh, and I have these right here. Here we go. You're going to love how these look. Now, this is after, this is before. See how beautiful they look? Now, what I have here is I have these silicone cups right here. And what's great about these is you can take these and you can just go like this and pull it off just like that. Now, I have this one here. I'm going to put this over here. Again, this is not only summer friendly, but this is so healthy. So, my egg whites are done here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take this, come over here, take my heavy cream, add my heavy cream to this. This is just to enrich it. Then I'm going to take my spatula here and just kind of fold this together. See how nice and stable this is? And I just mix this nicely till it comes together. Then I'll take my pastry bag right here. Once that's all folded together, that's good. I'm going to take, into our pastry bag we go. Let me show you how we fill these too, very quickly. I'm going to just come over here, put it right in here. I only have about 2 minutes left in show. I'm starting to make a mess, so I'm just going to cut this off. I'm going to show you how I would fill one. Then we're going to go to break, and when we come back, I'll show you exactly how this looks. But watch how we fill these. These are so easy. Just come here, right to the bottom here. Just make sure that you go all the way to the top there. See how nice that looks? All the way to the top. Make sure you fill it in. And then with a knife or spatula, make sure that you go like this and scrape them off to get it nice and clean like that. We're going to take a little break. When we come back, I'm going to show you how this wonderful lemongrass green tea frozen souffle is presented. Don't go anywhere. It's summer desserts today on Let's Cook. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook. Now it's time to finish our green tea lemongrass souffle. A little bit of candied ginger that I diced up right on top there. Then we'll put in, a couple of mint leaves because mint just seems to go with it. Beautiful blackberry there and some wonderful raspberries right here. Looks great, doesn't it? In addition to this wonderful souffle here, we also did our key lime pie, one of my favorites, and of course our cappuccino ice cream pie as well. You know, I love this summer. I love desserts. These are 3 of my favorites. Thank you so much for watching Let's Cook. You have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.